There are certain people in this world who carry within them something rare, something powerful. It is not visible to the eye, yet it flows through their veins, defining how they move through life, how they lead, how they love, and how they rise when life tests them. These are the people with the O blood group, both positive and negative. The ones whose very nature speaks of strength, leadership, and quiet resilience. The O blood group is often called the universal giver. But beyond biology, it represents something deeper. These are people who carry within them an instinct to give, to serve, and to lead. They are the ones who step forward when others hesitate. When the storm comes, they do not run, they stand firm. Their hearts beat with purpose. Their minds stay sharp under pressure, and their presence naturally draws others to follow. Those with O positive blood often radiate warmth and confidence. They are social beings, adaptable, optimistic, and full of life. Their strength lies in connection. They know how to unite people, how to bring energy into a room, how to turn conflict into cooperation. These individuals are often natural leaders, not because they seek power, but because they inspire trust. They carry an inner fire that pushes them to act rather than wait, to build rather than complain. They are the ones who believe that progress is not given, it is created. Those with O negative blood, on the other hand, often embody calm strength. They are rare, both in blood and in character. Quiet, observant, deeply intuitive. They see what others overlook. Their strength is not loud but steady. They may not always be the first to speak, but when they do, their words carry weight. They think before acting, they analyze before deciding, and they move with precision. In a chaotic world, they are the grounding force, composed, focused, and reliable. Their rarity is not just in their blood, but in their ability to stay balanced when everything around them falls apart. Both O positive and O negative individuals share one defining trait: they are givers. In every sense of the word, they give time, energy, and love without asking for recognition. They give stability when others feel lost. They give effort when others stop trying. Their strength comes from their ability to put others before themselves, yet never lose their own purpose. The world thrives because of people like them, those who understand that real power lies not in taking but in giving. So, if you are one of them, if O flows through your veins, remember what that means. You were not made to hide, to wait, or to doubt your worth. You were built to lead with humility, to act with courage, to serve with heart. The world needs your strength, your generosity, your fire, and your calm. Stand up, take ownership of who you are, and use your strength to lift others higher. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Be the one who gives, the one who stands, the one who inspires. The blood that flows in you was never meant for fear. It was meant for purpose. Live that purpose. Today, you were not created to blend in. You were created to rise, to lead, to walk a path that others may be afraid to take. Leadership is not about having authority over others or demanding recognition. It is not about power, position, or pride. True leadership begins with awareness, an inner knowing that you carry something within you that can guide, inspire, and uplift those around you. People with the O blood group often possess this natural instinct to lead. It shows in how you take responsibility when others hesitate, how you move forward when others stand still, how you find solutions when others only see problems. It's in your nature to step forward, to protect, to organize, and to create order out of uncertainty. That drive is not accidental, it is a reflection of who you are at your core. To lead is to serve. It means carrying the weight of responsibility with grace and humility. It means being the one who remains steady when life becomes unstable. Leadership is not loud, it is not built on commanding attention. It is quiet strength built from patience, discipline, and clarity of mind. When you are born to lead, your focus shifts from seeking validation to creating value. You no longer chase approval because you understand that real fulfillment comes from impact, not applause. You understand that the true purpose of leadership is not to stand above others, but to stand beside them and lift them higher. The best leaders are those who empower others to believe in themselves, who inspire action through example, not instruction. Leadership requires courage, the courage to make difficult decisions, to face uncertainty, and to take the first step when the path ahead is unclear. There will always be doubt and fear, but courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act in spite of it. As someone with a strong, giving nature, you naturally gravitate toward challenges because deep down, you understand that every obstacle is a chance to grow stronger. Each test life gives you is not meant to break you, but to refine your strength and sharpen your vision. You carry within you the capacity to remain calm in chaos, to find light in darkness, to see possibility where others see defeat. That is what makes you a leader. Leadership also demands discipline. The ability to remain consistent, focused, and grounded even when distractions surround you. It means doing what is necessary, not just what is convenient. Discipline builds trust in yourself and trust from others. When people see you stay true to your word, when they see that you follow through on your actions, they begin to believe in you. Consistency creates credibility, and credibility is the foundation of leadership. A true leader leads through example, through daily choices, through silent integrity. You do not need to announce your leadership, your actions reveal it. Every time you show up fully, every time you choose effort over comfort, every time you rise when it would be easier to quit. Another quality that defines you is empathy. Great leaders do not lead with force, they lead with understanding. You possess the capacity to feel deeply, to sense the emotions of others, to offer support without being asked. This empathy allows you to connect with people on a level that words cannot reach. It gives you insight into what others need, what they fear, and what they hope for. Empathy is not weakness, it is awareness in its highest form. It allows you to guide others not from superiority, but from shared humanity. People follow those who make them feel seen, heard, and valued. Your natural compassion and your instinct to protect others make you not only a strong leader, but also a kind one. Leadership is also about vision, the ability to see beyond the immediate, to imagine what could be, and to move toward it even when others doubt. You are driven by purpose. You are not content with the ordinary. There is something within you that constantly pushes for progress, for improvement, for growth. You don't settle for what is comfortable because you understand that comfort is the enemy of evolution. You think ahead, you plan, and you create direction. This vision gives people hope, and hope is what moves the world forward. When you speak with conviction, others listen, not because of your tone, but because your words carry intention. Vision gives meaning to your actions and gives others a reason to believe. In every era, in every society, there are people who step up when things fall apart. Those who take charge, who organize, who bring calm and clarity in times of confusion. These are people with leadership flowing in their blood. They do not wait for permission to act. They see what must be done and they do it. They are not driven by ego but by purpose. Leadership, for you, is not an option, it is a calling. It is part of your natural rhythm, like the beat of your own heart. Even in silence, even when no one notices, you carry that strength within you. But leadership is not without struggle. It will test your patience, your endurance, and your character. There will be moments when you feel misunderstood, moments when you must walk alone, moments when you question your own strength. Yet it is in these moments that your true nature is revealed. The path of leadership is not meant to be easy because it shapes those who walk it. Every challenge you face polishes your character. Every failure teaches resilience. Every setback strengthens your determination. These experiences do not weaken you. They prepare you for greater responsibility. They remind you that leadership is not about perfection. It's about persistence. To lead is to accept that not everyone will understand your choices. There will be criticism, doubt, and even resistance. But you do not lead for approval. You lead because you are guided by something larger than fear, a sense of duty, a desire to contribute, a drive to make things better. You understand that leadership is not about being right. It is about being responsible. It is about showing up when others don't, about doing what needs to be done even when it goes unnoticed. Real leaders are not driven by recognition. They are driven by the quiet satisfaction of knowing they made a difference. The fire within you was not placed there by accident. It is your gift, your fuel, your identity. To lead is to honor that fire. It is to recognize that your purpose is not simply to exist, but to influence, to build, and to guide. Every person you meet, every challenge you face, every lesson you learn becomes part of your journey as a leader. The strength that flows through your veins is not just physical, It is emotional, mental, and spiritual. It is the kind of strength that allows you to remain grounded in the face of chaos and unshaken in the face of uncertainty. You were born to lead, not because you are better than others, but because you are willing to take responsibility when others would rather look away. You were born to bring direction when there is confusion, hope when there is despair, and order when there is disorder. You are meant to light the path, not for your own glory, but so that others can find their way. Leadership is a sacred trust, a calling that demands integrity, courage, and compassion. And for those who carry it in their blood, it becomes not just a choice, but a way. There is a powerful truth that lives within the nature of those who possess the O blood group. They are givers by design. Their generosity runs deeper than action. It is written into their very essence. Giving is not something they do occasionally, it is who they are. They give energy when others are tired, hope when others have lost faith, and compassion when the world turns cold. They give not because they expect something in return, but because contribution is their instinct. It is their way of existing, to make the lives around them better, lighter, and stronger. This quality is what separates them from the ordinary. In a world that constantly urges people to take, to hoard, and to chase their own comfort, those with a giving nature stand out as rare souls who remind humanity of what truly matters: connection, kindness, and service. To give is not weakness, it is not naivety. It is strength in its purest form. It takes courage to give when others withhold, to share when others guard, and to keep your heart open even after it has been hurt. Giving demands resilience because it means extending a part of yourself to another without guarantees. It means caring enough to act, even when no one is watching. And that is the quiet power that defines a true giver. The ability to give not from abundance, but from faith. There will be times when giving feels draining, when it feels like your efforts go unnoticed, when you wonder if it even makes a difference. But the giver continues anyway, because giving is not about recognition. It is about alignment, aligning your actions with your purpose, your soul, and your humanity. Those who give understand that every act of generosity is like planting a seed. You may not see the tree grow immediately, but one day, someone will find shade under its branches. Your kindness creates ripples that travel far beyond your sight. The smile you give, the time you offer, the encouragement you share, these small moments accumulate into something vast. Giving has a power that cannot be measured by what you lose, but by what it awakens in others. It builds trust, it restores faith, and it reminds people that goodness still exists. When you give, you become a bridge between what is and what could be. You carry light into places where it has dimmed. But giving is not only about external actions. It also means giving understanding to yourself and others. It means forgiving mistakes, offering patience when it is easier to judge, and extending grace where there is none. True giving begins within. It starts when you choose compassion over criticism, empathy over ego, and love over fear. The most powerful gift you can offer another person is your presence, the willingness to listen, to care, and to understand. In a world full of noise and distractions, your presence becomes rare and precious. Giving your time and attention is one of the purest forms of love, because time is the one thing that can never be taken back. People who are natural givers also carry a deep sense of responsibility. They feel the weight of others' struggles and the pull to make things right. This sensitivity is both a blessing and a challenge. It can lead them to exhaustion if they forget to give to themselves. Because to give endlessly without renewal eventually drains even the strongest spirit. Giving must be balanced with self-awareness, a recognition that you cannot pour from an empty vessel. You must refill yourself with peace, solitude, and gratitude so that your giving remains genuine, not forced. True generosity does not come from depletion, it comes from fullness. When you give from a place of peace, your energy replenishes itself through the very act of serving. The giving nature of those with O blood is also connected to their ability to heal, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Their presence often brings calm to those around them. They instinctively know when someone is hurting, even if no words are spoken. They comfort, they listen, they support, not because they are trying to fix, but because they understand. Their empathy is deep, their patience vast, and their hearts wide open. People often feel safe in their company because givers create space for others to simply be. They do not demand or judge, they accept. That acceptance is healing in itself. In a world where people are constantly told to prove their worth, a giver's acceptance becomes a sanctuary. A reminder that being seen and valued is enough. Yet, giving also requires discernment. There will be times when your giving heart is tested by those who take without gratitude or respect. In those moments, you must remember that your kindness is not weakness, and your generosity is not permission for others to exploit you. Giving must be rooted in wisdom, not obligation. The goal of giving is not to please everyone, but to stay true to your purpose. Sometimes, the most powerful act of giving is to say no, to protect your energy so that you can continue to give where it truly matters. Boundaries are not barriers, they are preservation. They keep your heart strong and your giving pure. When you give, you also lead. Leadership through giving is not about authority, it's about example. When people see you act selflessly, they are inspired to do the same. You ignite a spark in others to be more compassionate, more patient, more human. Giving is contagious. It sets a tone, creates a culture, and reminds people that we rise by lifting others. You may never know the full extent of your influence, but your kindness lives on through the actions it inspires in others. Every word of encouragement, every act of service, every time you choose to help rather than ignore, you shape the world in small but powerful ways. Giving also has a spiritual dimension. It connects you to something greater than yourself. It reminds you that you are part of a larger whole, that your existence has meaning beyond personal gain. When you give, you participate in the flow of life itself, the endless cycle of receiving and returning, of nurturing and being nurtured. The more you give, the more you feel aligned with that natural rhythm. You begin to understand that happiness does not come from accumulation, but from contribution. The joy of giving is not in what you lose, but in what you create, connection, harmony, and purpose. To be a giver is to live with an open heart in a world that often teaches people to close it. It is to keep your humanity intact when cynicism tries to take over. It is to believe that your actions, no matter how small, matter deeply. Because every act of kindness sends out a vibration that travels further than you can imagine. It may reach a stranger who needed hope, a friend who was on the verge of giving up, or a community that needed unity. The essence of giving is that it multiplies. What you share always finds its way back in a new form, maybe not immediately, but always eventually. Those who live with the spirit of giving are the heartbeat of the world. They keep humanity alive, they remind others of compassion, and they show that strength is not measured by what you keep, but by what you offer. Giving transforms not just the receiver but also the giver. It refines the soul, strengthens character, and deepens understanding. It is the silent art of leaving the world better than you found it. There is a unique light that shines in those who carry positive blood, a warmth that cannot be imitated, a fire that draws others closer without effort. These individuals possess a spirit of connection, an inner vitality that radiates through their presence. They are often the ones who lift the energy of a room simply by walking into it. Their optimism is contagious, their enthusiasm genuine, and their ability to unite people is remarkable. It is not that they never feel pain or fear, rather, it is that they choose to rise above it. They carry within them an instinct to inspire, to build bridges between people, to turn confusion into cooperation, and conflict into understanding. Their energy is one of creation, the energy that says, we can make this better together. All positive individuals are born with an open heart. They are naturally drawn to people, and people are drawn to them. They thrive in connection, not because they crave attention, but because they find joy in bringing others together. Their warmth makes them approachable, and their sincerity makes them trusted. They are the kind of people who listen without judgment, who offer encouragement without expecting anything back. Their compassion is not forced, it flows easily, like a quiet current that calms those who feel lost. This openness gives them the ability to connect across boundaries of culture, belief, or background. They see the humanity in everyone, and that vision allows them to create harmony where others see division. Their strength lies in their attitude. Even in difficult situations, they are rarely defeated in spirit. They may fall, they may struggle, but they always find a way to stand again, often stronger than before. They do not deny the hardships of life, but they refuse to let hardship define them. Their optimism is not shallow or naive, it is the product of resilience. They understand that every challenge carries within it a lesson, every disappointment an opportunity to begin again. When others see endings, they see transitions. When others lose hope, they search for meaning. This perspective allows them to keep moving forward when others give up. They know that energy follows focus, and so they focus on what they can create, not what they have lost. Their positivity is not just for themselves, it extends outward. They are natural motivators. In a group, they become the spark that ignites collaboration. They bring people together not through force, but through example. Through their ability to stay centered and hopeful. When others argue, they look for common ground. When tension rises, they diffuse it with humor, patience, or empathy. They lead not by dominating, but by inspiring trust. People follow them not because they have to, but because they want to. The O-positive individual has an unspoken strength that says, "Who can handle this?" And that confidence has a ripple effect. It calms fear, it restores focus, and it reminds others of their own capability. Their energy is magnetic because it is real. It comes from alignment, a deep connection between their thoughts, words, and actions. They don't just talk about values, they live them. They don't pretend to be perfect. They show up as they are. Honest, imperfect, but determined. This authenticity is what makes their leadership powerful. People can sense when someone's intentions are genuine, and O-positive individuals carry that authenticity effortlessly. They do not need to prove themselves, their consistency speaks for them. Whether they are in a position of authority or simply part of a team, they make things work because they focus on solutions, not ego. Their goal is progress, not control. What makes their fire unique is its balance, a combination of strength and kindness, drive and empathy, passion and patience. They can be firm when needed, but never cruel. They can be ambitious without becoming self-centered. They understand that true success is not achieved alone. It is something that grows through cooperation and shared vision. They are not threatened by the success of others. Instead, they celebrate it, knowing that the rise of one can lift many. This mindset gives them the ability to lead with generosity rather than competition. They want to see everyone around them thrive. Their success feels incomplete if it does not. In relationships, whether personal or professional, O-positive individuals often act as the foundation. The steady, dependable presence that others lean on. They are the ones who keep families connected, teams united, and friendships alive. They take initiative when something feels broken, offering words of reassurance, or taking practical steps to repair what is damaged. They believe in communication, in honesty, and in the healing power of understanding. Their emotional intelligence allows them to read people well. They can sense when someone is struggling, even when no words are spoken. This empathy, combined with their optimism, gives them a natural gift for support and leadership. They do not shy away from responsibility, they embrace it, knowing that their strength can serve a greater purpose. However, their giving and energetic nature can sometimes come with a challenge, the tendency to overextend themselves. Because they care deeply and want to see everyone happy, they can take on more than they should. Their drive to unite and uplift can sometimes lead them to neglect their own rest or well-being. Yet, even in exhaustion, they rarely complain. They recharge through purpose, through the satisfaction of knowing they made a difference, however small. But it is important for them to remember that even fire needs balance. Too much giving without self-care can dull the flame that makes them shine. Their light is most powerful when it burns steadily, not when it burns out. Their fire is also seen in how they handle challenges. They do not collapse under pressure. They transform pressure into motivation. They see setbacks as fuel. Their inner dialogue is rarely defeatist. Instead, it is full of determination. There must be a way. Let's find it. This attitude makes them resilient leaders and inspiring companions. They don't dwell on what went wrong. They focus on what can still go right. Their strength is built not just from victories, but from how they respond to failures. They learn, they adapt, and they keep going. This resilience gives them influence that lasts because people are drawn not to those who never fall, but to those who rise again and again. Every O-positive individual carries an invisible torch, one that lights the path for others. Their energy heals, their optimism restores, and their faith encourages. In a world often divided by fear and competition, they remind people of unity, of shared humanity, of the strength found in togetherness. They understand that real power lies not in standing alone, but in standing together. Their life becomes a message that hope is stronger than despair, that kindness is not weakness, and that a single act of positivity can change everything. Their gift is not just their enthusiasm, but their ability to awaken that same fire in others. Through their warmth and action, they transform ordinary moments into meaningful connections, and those connections become the foundation. Those who carry O-negative blood possess a rare and steady power that runs quietly beneath the surface. They are the calm within life's storm, the presence that brings peace when chaos threatens to consume everything. While others may react with intensity or fear, they remain grounded, composed, and deliberate. Their strength is not loud, but unshakable. It is the kind of power that doesn't need to announce itself. It simply exists, reassuring everyone around them that things will be all right. This quality is not something they were taught. It is something they were born with. It comes from deep within their nature, a stillness that is both mysterious and magnetic. In moments of uncertainty, people are instinctively drawn to them, trusting their quiet confidence even when they themselves cannot explain why. The O-negative individual is rare, not only in biology but in spirit. They carry within them a balance between compassion and control, between intuition and reason. They observe before they act, think before they speak, and listen before they judge. Their patience is not passivity, it is strategy. They understand that timing matters, that not every moment calls for movement, and that silence can often reveal more than words. When everyone else rushes to respond, they take a breath, allowing emotion to settle and clarity to rise. This discipline gives them an edge in life, allowing them to navigate challenges with precision and grace. They rarely lose themselves to panic because they know that storms always pass, and that strength is proven in stillness. In their relationships, they bring a sense of safety and steadiness. Their presence feels grounding to others. People trust them, confide in them, and seek their counsel, not because they are overly expressive, but because they are reliable. They listen deeply, and when they speak, their words carry weight. They are not easily swayed by trends, opinions, or external pressures. They move according to their own principles. Their calmness is not a sign of detachment, but of emotional maturity. They feel deeply, but they do not let emotions dictate their actions. Instead, they let understanding guide them. This self-control makes them dependable in moments of crisis, when others lose focus or crumble under pressure. The O-negative personality often exhibits leadership through quiet influence. They do not demand attention, yet they naturally command respect. Their leadership style is subtle. They lead by example, not by authority. They do not need to stand at the front of the room to be seen as leaders. They lead from the center, ensuring that everyone feels included, supported, and capable. Their calm demeanor allows them to diffuse tension, to bring clarity to confusion, and to remind others of the bigger picture when fear narrows vision. They understand that real leadership is not about control, it is about creating stability. They are the ones who bring order when things fall apart, who offer direction when paths seem lost. They possess a quiet confidence that inspires trust. They don't boast, they don't exaggerate, and they don't seek validation from others. Their self-assurance comes from within, from a deep understanding of who they are and what they stand for. Because of this, they are not easily influenced by criticism or praise. They know their worth is not dependent on how others perceive them. Their sense of identity is rooted in purpose, not in approval. This inner clarity gives them peace in situations that would otherwise cause insecurity. They walk their own path with steadiness, knowing that strength is not a... Those with O-negative blood are often healers by nature. Their calm energy has a grounding effect on others. When people are anxious or lost, they instinctively turn to them for reassurance. It is not what they say, but how they are that soothes others. They carry a quiet empathy, the kind that doesn't need words to understand pain. They sense what others feel, often before it is spoken. They know how to comfort without overstepping, how to support without taking control. Their strength lies in presence, in simply being there, unshaken, when the world feels uncertain. This steady energy brings balance wherever it goes, reminding others that peace is not found by escaping the storm, but by standing still within it. They also carry a deep sense of responsibility. Because they are dependable and trustworthy, people often lean on them. They feel called to help, to fix, to protect. And while this is a gift, it can also be a burden. Their desire to bring stability can lead them to take on more than they should. They rarely complain, but they can carry silent weight. The worries of others, the expectations of many, the constant demand for strength, yet even under pressure, they endure. Their resilience is quiet but relentless. They understand that strength is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to move through it with dignity. They may feel tired, but they never quit. They may bend, but they do not break. This quiet resilience is what gives them their rare and lasting influence. They are not easily discouraged by failure or hardship. Instead, they adapt. They see obstacles not as barriers, but as opportunities to grow. They do not waste energy on blame or resentment. They focus on solutions. They have learned that calmness allows for clearer thinking, and clearer thinking leads to better choices. When others spiral into negativity, they remain focused on what can be done. This ability to remain composed in uncertainty makes them invaluable in any environment, families, teams, or communities. They are the anchor that keeps others from drifting away in times of turbulence. There is also a quiet intensity about them, a depth that draws people in. They may not speak often, but when they do, their words carry wisdom. They do not waste time on gossip, drama, or superficial talk. They prefer conversations that matter, ideas that challenge, and experiences that build understanding. Their calmness allows them to see beneath the surface of things, to notice details others overlook, to sense truths that remain hidden. Their intuition is sharp, their perception deep, and their insight often startlingly accurate. They have the ability to read energy, to sense motives, and to discern what is real from what is illusion. This awareness gives them power. The kind of power that does not need to be asserted because it is already recognized. Even in solitude, they are at peace. They do not fear being alone because solitude refuels them. It is in quiet moments that they regain strength, clarity, and purpose. They are reflective by nature, using stillness to process experiences, to understand life, to realign their direction. Their solitude is not isolation, it is renewal. It is what allows them to remain calm when the world becomes too loud. In silence, they remember who they are and why they do what they do. That is why, even in times of collective panic, they can act with wisdom. They know that the right decision comes not from rushing, but from grounding. Their presence in society is essential because they bring balance. While others chase speed, they remind the world of rhythm. While others compete, they remind it of cooperation. While others get lost in noise, they embody clarity. Their ability to remain calm, thoughtful, and kind amid chaos is what makes them pillars of strength in their families, communities, and workplaces. People may not always notice their impact immediately, but they feel it in the way things become steadier when they are around, in the way hope returns when they speak, and in the way peace settles when they act. To carry O negative blood is to carry a rare gift, the gift of still power, of silent influence, of unwavering balance. It is to be the person others look to when things fall apart, the person who can be counted on when there is no one else. Their calm does not come from ignorance of struggle, but from mastery over it. Their composure does not come from lack of emotion, but from wisdom gained through it. They are not just calm by nature, they are calm by choice. A choice made every day to bring peace where there is chaos, clarity where there is confusion, and action is the heartbeat of purpose. It is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. There are many who speak of what they wish to do, who plan, who visualize, who imagine a brighter future, but only a few step forward and act. Those with the O blood type are among the few who understand that movement creates momentum and momentum creates transformation. They are wired to move, to take initiative, to turn intention into impact. Their power lies not in what they say, but in what they do. They live by the simple truth that progress is born through action, not hesitation. Every time they choose to act instead of wait, They build a rhythm that propels them and everyone around them forward. Words have power, but without action, they fade into the background like echoes in an empty hall. The O personality understands this instinctively. They know that ideas mean nothing until they are lived. They are the kind of people who, when faced with uncertainty, don't retreat into fear. They take the first step. They do not wait for perfect conditions because they know perfection never comes. They act because they understand that action itself brings clarity. The more they move, the more they learn, the more they try, the more they grow. This courage to begin, even without all the answers, sets them apart. Their strength lies in their ability to turn thought into effort and effort into result. They carry within them an unspoken belief that life rewards those who show up. Every sunrise, every opportunity, every challenge is seen as a call to act. They don't believe in waiting for motivation. They create it. Action fuels motivation, not the other way around. When others freeze, unsure of what to do, they move forward, trusting that motion itself will reveal the path. This proactive spirit often makes them the ones others look to when things need to be done. They are the ones who roll up their sleeves, who step into the unknown, who say, "Let's start." Their confidence doesn't come from arrogance, but from the understanding that progress, no matter how small, is always better than standing still. Their actions are often driven by purpose rather than pride. They don't act merely to be seen or praised. They act because they feel responsible for making a difference. They understand that life is not something to be observed, but something to be participated in. They live by engagement, by involvement, by doing. They take ownership not only of their goals, but of their influence. They know that every action sends a message, that every decision creates a ripple. And because of this awareness, they choose to act with integrity, consistency, and intention. Their actions often inspire others to follow, not because they demand it, but because they embody what they believe in. Action requires courage, and courage requires faith. The O blood type individual possesses this combination. They have a natural drive to confront challenges head on. They do not wait for fear to fade before they move. They act in spite of it. They know that courage is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. Fear is a companion to all meaningful action. It is a sign that something matters. So instead of avoiding it, they use it as fuel. They take the leap, make the call, start the conversation, or pursue the dream even when doubt whispers in their ear. Their bravery lies not in being fearless, but in being relentless. They understand that life's greatest victories are hidden behind moments of hesitation that they chose to overcome. Their approach to life is simple yet powerful. Start now. They know that waiting for the right time is often an excuse disguised as patience. The right time rarely arrives fully formed. It is made right by taking action. They believe that small steps lead to big changes. Every great achievement begins with a single decision: to move, to try, to begin. They don't underestimate the value of starting small. They understand that consistency is more powerful than intensity. While others may start strong and fade, the O blood type individual keeps going. Their persistence turns ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. They also understand that action teaches better than theory. Books, advice, and plans have their place, but real understanding comes only through doing. Experience is their greatest teacher. They learn through trial, through mistakes, through hands-on engagement with life. They are not afraid to fail because they see failure as feedback, not finality. Each misstep refines their direction, strengthens their resilience, and deepens their wisdom. They see every experience, whether successful or not, as part of the process of growth. This mindset keeps them in motion even when things don't go as planned. They do not allow disappointment to become paralysis. Instead, they let it become preparation. When others overthink, they simplify. They don't get lost in endless planning or what-if scenarios. They prefer doing over debating. This does not mean they are reckless. It means they trust themselves enough to adjust as they go. They believe that progress is made through movement, not through endless contemplation. Their clarity comes from engagement. They take responsibility for their choices, knowing that it is better to act imperfectly than to do nothing perfectly. Every decision they make is guided by this principle: better to be in motion than to remain stagnant. Their sense of action extends beyond personal goals. It is a philosophy of life. They act to help others, to improve situations, to uplift communities. They understand that action is the purest form of compassion. To see someone in need and to act. That is their instinct. They don't wait for someone else to fix things. They take initiative. They know that one person's action can trigger collective change. Their willingness to act often inspires others to do the same, creating a chain reaction of courage and contribution. Even in the smallest of moments, their actions reflect who they are. The way they treat others, the way they honor their word, the way they handle challenges. All these are acts that define their character. They know that greatness is not measured by grand gestures, but by the consistency of small, meaningful actions taken daily. To them, success is not a single event, it is the accumulation of thousands of quiet, deliberate steps taken in the direction of purpose. There is a fire that burns in those who live through action. It is a fire that refuses to settle for mediocrity, that pushes them to keep moving even when progress is slow. They understand that stagnation is death to the spirit, that growth demands movement. They do not allow fear, fatigue, or failure to silence their drive. Instead, they transform these challenges into fuel. When life tests them, they respond with effort. When obstacles rise, they meet them with determination. Their philosophy is simple: act first, refine later. Through this, they keep evolving, learning, and expanding their potential. Those who live through action radiate a certain energy, a sense of direction that others can feel. They remind the world that dreams are not meant to stay in the mind, they are meant to be lived. They are proof that change is not born from waiting, but from doing. Their every move, no matter how small, carries a message of intention. That life moves forward only when we do. Their legacy is not in what they planned, but in what they executed. The risks they took, the steps they dared to make, and the lives they touched through their work. Within those who carry the O blood type flows something extraordinary, a current of purpose that cannot be denied. It is not just blood that moves through their veins, it is legacy, strength, and resilience. They are born with an innate sense that they are part of something larger than themselves, that their life holds a significance beyond personal success. They feel a pull, a quiet but constant call to contribute, to uplift, to make a difference in the lives around them. It is as if life itself has entrusted them with the duty of carrying energy that heals, connects, and transforms. This is not arrogance but awareness. They understand that purpose is not about being special, it is about being useful. To carry purpose in your blood means to live with intention in every heartbeat. From the moment they begin to understand the world, these individuals often feel an inner drive to give meaning to their actions. They are not content with existing passively or drifting through life without direction. They crave purpose, because they sense that energy without direction leads to emptiness. This awareness shapes their behavior, their relationships, and their choices. Whether they are working, creating, leading, or simply listening, they do so with a sense of meaning. They know that everything they do carries weight, that their actions, no matter how small, have the power to influence others. This realization gives their life depth and clarity. They wake up each day not merely to survive, but to contribute something of value, to leave behind a trace of kindness, progress, or strength. To have purpose in your blood is to live with awareness. It means understanding that your time, energy, and abilities are sacred. Those with O blood often possess a strong sense of responsibility, not only for themselves but for the collective. They are the ones who stand up when others hesitate, who speak truth when silence feels easier, who give when others retreat. Their strength is quiet, but it is unwavering. They do not chase recognition because purpose itself is their reward. The act of doing what is right, of helping, healing, or leading, fills them with fulfillment that no applause can match. Their satisfaction comes from alignment, from knowing that what they do reflects who they are. Purpose also gives them direction during hardship. When life becomes difficult, when loss, failure, or confusion strikes, they do not crumble easily. They may feel the pain deeply, but they never lose sight of why they exist. Their sense of purpose becomes a compass, guiding them through darkness. It reminds them that even pain can have meaning, that growth often comes through struggle. They find strength in their ability to endure, to rise, and to continue walking forward even when the path is uncertain. This resilience makes them pillars in their communities, families, and relationships. Others look to them not because they never fall, but because they always rise with purpose. Their example teaches others that a meaningful life is not one without hardship, but one that turns hardship into wisdom. Their purpose also manifests as service. They feel compelled to give, not because they are obligated, but because it feels natural. Helping others, guiding them, sharing their knowledge or strength, these acts feed their spirit. They find joy in contribution, in seeing others thrive. Their purpose is not self-centered, it is relational. They know that true fulfillment does not come from taking, but from giving. When they offer kindness, support, or inspiration, they are not depleting themselves. They are fulfilling the very essence of who they are. The more they give, the more alive they feel, because giving aligns them with the rhythm of life. They understand that we are all connected, and that purpose multiplies when it is shared. Yet carrying purpose in your blood does not mean life is always easy. It often means carrying weight that others do not see. Those who live with deep purpose can feel misunderstood at times because they see beyond surface level goals. While others chase temporary pleasure, they think about impact, about legacy, about meaning. This difference can create loneliness, but it also creates depth. They are the ones who look at the world and ask, how can I make this better? Not, what can I get from it? They are builders of meaning in a world that often forgets it. Their quiet determination often becomes the foundation upon which others grow. The purpose-driven nature of O-Blood individuals also gives them clarity about what truly matters. They understand that material things fade, but the mark you leave on people endures. They measure success not by possessions, but by influence, by how many lives they have touched, by how much peace they have created, by how many hearts they have helped open. They know that the real wealth of life is emotional and spiritual, love, gratitude, growth, wisdom. They strive to live in alignment with these values because they recognize that purpose is not found outside of oneself, it is something cultivated within through conscious living. This awareness makes them deliberate with their time. They do not waste energy on meaningless pursuits or destructive habits. They choose where to invest their focus carefully because they understand that every moment spent in distraction is a moment lost from purpose. They prefer actions that build rather than break, that unite rather than divide. Their discipline stems from understanding the sacredness of time. They value growth, both their own and others, and they encourage those around them to do the same. Their presence often elevates others simply because their energy carries intention. When they lead from a place of meaning. They do not lead for power, but for progress. Their goal is not dominance, but development, to see others rise, to help people discover their own strength. They are the kind of leaders who bring out the best in others because they lead through example. They act with integrity, they keep their word, and they embody what they teach. Their purpose-driven approach to leadership creates loyalty and respect because people sense authenticity. They inspire not through commands, but through consistency. Their life becomes a mirror that reflects what is possible when one lives with intention. Their purpose also fuels their creativity. When they build with meaning. Whether it's art, business, teaching, healing, or any other pursuit, they infuse it with care and purpose. They see their work not as a task, but as an extension of their spirit. Every project, every goal becomes an opportunity to express something true. This authenticity gives their work power. It touches others on a deeper level because it carries sincerity. People can feel when something is created with genuine intention, and those with O-Blood often leave that impression in everything they do. They also carry within them a natural wisdom that recognizes the interconnectedness of life. They understand that their purpose is intertwined with others. They know that no one thrives in isolation. Their empathy allows them to see themselves in others, to recognize shared struggles, shared hopes, shared humanity. This connection strengthens their sense of duty to contribute positively. They do not act out of ego, but out of understanding. Their heart beats not just for their own life, but for the lives of those around them. They find meaning in unity, in togetherness, in lifting others higher. Carrying purpose in your blood means living consciously, being aware that every breath, every word, every action carries energy. It means moving through the world with mindfulness, knowing that your life is a thread in a vast, living fabric. Those with O blood often sense this intuitively. They do not seek perfection but alignment. They strive to live in harmony with their values, to express gratitude for life by making it meaningful. Their purpose is not something they chase, it is something they embody. It flows through them naturally, shaping their choices and illuminating their path with